What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed, and I am here today to discuss the big short squeeze that we are currently seeing on some of these companies. But before I do that, please go ahead and use the link below to join the Discord. It is free of charge. I created it so everyone can talk about all things stock, whether you're a financial expert or if you're just someone who's just interested in just getting into stock trading. Please hop in the Discord and have some dialogues. Everyone is there, very friendly, nice community. So please join us. And also, I do have my Webull link below. So if you want 4 free stocks, if you deposit $100, you do get that, and you get to trade in the pre and after market. So guys, let's talk about the short squeeze. I know this is something that has been highly talked about in the past week, and I think it's going to fall into the next week. And I don't know when this is all going to end. But again, let's just get some definitions down, just for everyone to be on the same playing ground. So what is a short squeeze? Investopedia here explains that a short squeeze occurs when a stock or other asset jumps sharply higher, forcing traders who had bet that the price would fall to buy it in order to forestall even greater losses. The scramble to buy only adds to the upward pressure on the stock's price. So again, a short squeeze creates this buying pressure, a strong buying pressure, especially for those who are shorting stocks. They would be at a significant loss, but instead of them just getting into a loss, they have to buy it in at a more expensive price, and then again at a more expensive price, and then this just continues to escalate to create this mania. Now, short sellers borrow shares for an asset that they believe will drop in price in order to buy them after they fall. By definition, what a short seller is. If they're right, they return the shares and pocket the difference between the price when they initiated the short, so those who shorted GameStop at $450, for example, and the actual sale price. We saw it drop significantly, maybe to 100, whatever it was. But again, you have to time your shorts, right? If they're wrong, they're forced to buy at a higher price and pay the difference between the price that they set and its sale price. So say you shorted the GameStop at, what we've been hearing, maybe at $50 or $100 when it was still at 20, 30. You're just like, this is way overvalued. And then it shoots up to 400. You're paying a difference between $50 and $400, $350, which is significant. And again, this has all been happening, and this is all stirring because of the internet, guys. The small fish are finally getting, taking care of business and able to work together, bind together, and kind of making these short sellers lose the battle, which is, historically speaking, something that hasn't happened. Now, a good movie that I would recommend today's Sunday, if you don't have anything, if you're not too busy, you want to enjoy one last thing before the weekend ends, I would recommend watching The Big Short. This movie here has some great actors. I actually watched it yesterday with the wife. I thought it was a great movie. It talks about what a short is. And again, these guys bet against the market, right? But in this movie, they actually bet against the housing market. Some of these really brilliant individuals. So again, it kind of gives you perspective from that sense. I would recommend this movie if you have, some time this weekend. Now, the reason that you probably came to this video is because I want to talk about what are the potential next, what is the next GameStop? What is going to happen in the next week, in the next couple weeks, the next month? Who knows how long this will go for? I know we're still awaiting some information and a statement to be put out from the SEC. And so again, guys, there is going to be a waiting game. We're not sure what's going to happen with the regulations after, this loophole, if you will, was found. Although it's not really a loophole, it's just, brilliant minds coming together. But again, GameStop, we saw fly. We did see it fly, definitely. So I'm going to talk about some of the companies that I think have some potential in the near future to kind of go through that same short squeeze, the creation of that short squeeze that we saw with GameStop the previous couple weeks. Now, again, let's just look at GameStop's price action. And again, I did get these from this Yahoo Finance article. They talked about the top 20 most shorted stocks, which again, those are the ones that are being targeted currently by the internet groups that have been mentioned. So GameStop, just looking at the 5-day chart, right? $89 at a low, up 423% at its peak at $469. Guys, the short sellers are worried. They are panicking I'm sure when they saw this, they were just in shock. And again, we saw what happened with the whole brokerage issue, and we saw a pullback significantly since then. A sharp pullback there, a decent recovery. But again, we're anticipating that GameStop might continue this rally. And who knows, GameStop could go to $500, can go to $1,000. But I need every single one of you guys, remember, this is not for financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor, but I need every single one of you to understand that all of this comes with risk. Now, although there are people creating buying pressure, right? They're binding together to make the stock prices increase substantially and sharply with the short squeeze, people will take profits regardless. And I think if you're in on this, it only makes logical sense to take profits. For me personally, again, I'm mainly on the sidelines. I just dabbled here and there with nothing significant, less than probably 1% of my portfolio in some of these companies, just to see what happens, because I think it's going to be, it's historical. We're seeing history being made, and I think the little guys are finally going to see, potential light. But at the same time, you might see some darkness as well. So I need each and every one of you to be extra careful before putting a significant amount of money into these companies that I mentioned today. So please, 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 I ask you to just do your due diligence and be careful. AMC, we saw it, guys. This was just insane. Within a span of literally a previous trading day to the next, or not even, yeah, exactly, to the next, we saw from $5, 300% increase. These aren't numbers we see in the market, guys. And since then, we saw a pullback, and I'm sure people bought up high at 20, ended up losing money by selling at the low, selling the dip. Because again, when it comes to fundamentals for these companies, everyone, please understand that fundamentally speaking, the reason that there are short sellers betting against these companies is because their balance sheets might look off or look, not the greatest. Their revenues haven't been doing well. They were hit hard by the pandemic, right? Something is going on with these companies that don't make them look like they have a positive outlook. So short sellers are kind of seeing it as, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to short sell the stock and make a lot of money doing it, because again, all these internet groups that are getting together to, the Wall Street bets guys are getting together to create this community. That's not going to last. Now, who knows what's going to happen though? If people are strong, the retail investors really continue to ignite this flame and fuel, I can definitely see this continue going, but I'm not sure. So with that being said, that's why I'm kind of skeptical and being extremely careful and cautious. Bed Bath & Beyond, right? Just in the 5-day, it went up 73% from its low and high, pretty much. 73% in just a couple days. Or even a day. Those are numbers those are astronomical numbers, everyone. So again, Bed Bath & Beyond, could that be the next target where it's, the main focus? Possibly. But again, it's already started, it's already happening. The 5-day, Tanger factory outlets, right? We know that they're not financially doing well because of the pandemic. Outlet malls in general aren't doing well. But look what we saw, a 43% increase in its price in the 5-day chart. On Monday, looks like market close till Tuesday. Next morning, 43%. Guys, these are significant numbers that we're seeing. Ligand Pharmaceuticals. So Ligand Pharmaceuticals up again, even themselves. If we look at just the 5-day, if we look at the 1 month, it's even more substantial, but 25% increase. So again, sharp increases in these prices that we're not sure that they're going to sustain themselves. Let's look at Serento Therapeutics, one that I actually talked about in my channel, around the $9 mark. But again, guys, $8.87, up 73%. 73% increase. And I know people are just wondering, what is going to be next? What should I be focused on? Where should I put my money? Now, I need every single one of you to be extremely, extremely, extremely careful. But again, if you want to get in on these companies that have heavy, heavy, heavy interest of short sellers, which means that they could be potential targets from the Wall Street bets groups, you need to understand it's going to come with risk. You might lose all your money. The stock could literally go back to previous numbers before the short sellers came in. So for Serento, it could go back to $7 as easy as it went up to 15. So understand that. And again, I know there's just going to be the buying pressure. The fear of missing out is going to be there, regardless of what you do. Now, what you need to do is, if you want to get in on these companies, I know it's not the favorite thing, but potentially setting a trailing stop loss. So the volatility for these companies is going to be huge. So trailing stop losses might not be the smartest thing unless you're someone who's an active trader and you're able to stay in front of your screen the whole day during the market hours. Then I understand, you going and putting in your money and just watching how the graph goes. But for all of you who are, doing this with money that you're not willing to lose, setting a trailing stop loss, 5-10%, although with volatility it's kind of insensible, I think that's at least one way to protect yourself. Especially come Monday in the market open, I think we're going to see some ridiculous price action in a lot of these plays. It could be positive or negative. So please be careful, everyone. I just wanted to drop this video off because I think this has been the most anticipated and most talked about thing in the Discord. And I want each and every one of you to be safe, and I want you to all have success in trading next week. Now, if you look at my previous video from yesterday on Saturday, I talked about the things that I'm going to be increasing my position in next week because I think those are companies that have long-term potential because of the current pullback that we're seeing in the market. Those are the things that I'm focused on. But today, I just want you to know there are companies that are heavily shorted in the market that have potential to be targeted by the Wall Street Bets group. So if you get in early on them and they end up going through a short squeeze, you're going to see some substantial returns as we saw in some of the examples that I used today. So as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really have been appreciating all the support and love you have been showing the channel. I hope we continue to see growth. And until next time, everyone, keep investing.